Hey y'all, it's Ilana and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this video because I am finally redoing my bedroom. I have been wanting to make over my bedroom for a while now. When I first moved in, I had this like very feminine chic look to it, kind of glam, and it had like pinky tones and it was very white, but there was too much white, and over time I just sort of outgrew this style. It really wasn't an accurate reflection of who I was, and I was so hyper fixated on having this bright white aesthetic for content creation, and it's like I can still have something just as aesthetically pleasing, but it's gonna cater to my taste, and I shouldn't have to feel pressure to like what social media thinks of what my room should look like. So I wanted to redo it for myself. I was really inspired to do this by the wonderful Alexandra Gater. I've been following her videos for quite some time now, and I wanted to try to redo my room like she would. Probably not as good as she would do it, but you know, a lot of her tips and tricks have really inspired me, and so I really wanted to see what I could do based off being inspired by Alexandra Gater. So I hope you enjoy this video, and make sure you join me at the Kitten Squad by subscribing down below. I'd love to have you here. So let's go ahead and make over my bedroom. So one of the first things that I'm gonna tackle with this space is the rug. So I ordered a brand new rug from Amazon. It's black and fuzzy. I wanted to originally order white and black rug for some texture, but because I'm gonna have like texture and different patterns all over the space, I didn't want to have it look very overwhelming and make it seem like everything clashes together. So I thought it was just gonna be the safest option to just go with something solid and fuzzy. So that can give it the texture, just no pattern. So I do have a carpet pad that I did buy because I don't want this to slide on the floor. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down and let's see what it looks like. I love it already. We're in Gemini season now, and guess who is a Gemini? Baby girl. I ordered Elsa an early birthday present. I am actually going to be replacing her cat tree with a new cat tree. It is going to be black, and it's going to have just more fun things for her. We've had this for about 5 years now. It's just falling apart. Elsa's definitely done some good damage to it, and I think we could use an upgrade. So I have all of the cat tree parts out of the box, and then after I build this, I'm gonna disassemble the current cat tree, and then I'll just throw it away in this box. There's a lot of parts here, but I think it's gonna look really nice. I think this is actually probably gonna be a little bit shorter than Elsa's current cat tree. I do think she'll get a lot of good use out of it, so I'm really not too worried. So I'm gonna build this off camera so you can see what it looks like once it's all done. You ready to see the cat tree now that it's all built? I think Elsa's gonna really like it. Let's see if we can get her and have her test it out. You wanna see your new cat tree? It might take her a while to get used to. Let her sniff it out. I think she's a little confused, but she'll get used to it. I'll let her explore. Let's move on. As you can see, my bed's a little bit unmade. I did kind of cuddle into it earlier as I was a little tired. So I'm back, and we are gonna completely change this bedding. I got this bedding when I was living in San Francisco during the pandemic, and it is honestly just time to retire it. I mean, I will still probably hold on to the duvets and the comforter, but this absolutely needs to get washed. It's really gross. And I mean, the pinks do not look good with the new bed frame that I got, which I'm sure you probably noticed that I got this a couple of months ago, and this was probably the most expensive thing that I paid for. So I'm glad I got that out of the way months ago when I was able to afford it. I'm really excited about this bed frame. It's been really comfortable. It's much better quality than the one that I got back when I was living in San Francisco, because I got that on Amazon. This I got from a local furniture store here in Portland called Euro Classic Furniture. They're really awesome, and I got a great deal on this bed. So I am excited to just change out the pillows and the comforter. I did just recently buy these black satin sheets, and they're really comfortable. I'm gonna go ahead and change out the pillows. This pillow I'm retiring. It's stained, it's gross. Same thing with this pillow. So this is a new comforter and bedding that I got. It looks really small, but it's just the comforter and pillowcases for the old pillows, which is really all I need. So I'm gonna unpackage this and make my bed. Add some finishing touches with these velvety gold throw pillows for a nice fun pop of color, since there are gold details in the pillows and comforter. I thought it would just make sense to get that. Let's talk about the pink good vibes only sign. We're cutting out toxic positivity in our life. I've had that since San Francisco. As much as I love good vibes and good vibes are welcome, we get negative in our life, and that's okay. And those thoughts are valid. So I'm replacing this sign with this palm holding the moon, and it's purple. I am going to replace it, and I cannot wait because it's gonna look so good. And I'm gonna place it right above my nightstand, so it's gonna be a little bit further towards the edge of the wall. Ta-da! I love it already. You see the pink curtain right there? I'm replacing that with something new and better quality. I'm gonna go ahead and change this out and put the new curtain in so you can see it. I'm worried this might be too heavy for that rod, but we're gonna see. Oh my gosh, I love it already. So it's actually, I think, shorter than the pink curtain, but it's okay because the colors are beautiful. I mean, I love the beautiful purple to white gradient. I think it's just gonna go super well with the theme of my room. But we are not even close to being done. So the reason you still see that gap is just because with the ceiling, there's no other place for the rod to go. So that's why it still has that opening. But for the most part, I mean, it still gives me division for my kitchen and my bed space, which I really like. I mean, do I wish this was longer? Yes, but I was just so in love with the pattern of this curtain that I just absolutely had to buy it. So I'm really not bothered by how short it is. I think it, once again, still creates division. And I have an extra curtain in case something happens to this one. So I know it's really exposed right now, but you see these windows? They have not had curtains. They do have blinds that the apartment came with, which is fine because they're great for blackout when I sleep at night, but I definitely need curtains because that really elevates a room, and I don't know why I didn't think to ever get curtains. I am going to use these beautiful black sheer curtains, which I think are going to be nice since I still really want light to come in through my room. So about the curtains. So the curtain rods I got actually ended up being too short, and that's my mistake because I completely forgot to measure the size of the window so I could buy the correct curtain rod length. So I am gonna plan on returning the curtain rods, and then with the curtains itself, I thought it looked really terrible with the curtains draped all the way down, and I had actually took thumbtacks to pin them in, which was fine, but I had a really good idea on what I wanted to do with the curtain situation, so I decided why not make them into valances because I think just having curtains draped down over the windows is a little bit too overwhelming for the window. But if I have a valance draping over, I think that will look really great. So the way that I turned these curtains into a valance was that I had to fold them over and I had to cut one, which was to match the shortest window, and then I would basically thumbtack them into the wall and hide the thumbtacks underneath so you couldn't see them. This is how they turned out. I feel like they look so much better. Because my old desk chair was starting to scratch up the vinyl flooring, because the flooring here is really cheap, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and add a desk chair mat for my new desk chair so nothing would scratch it up, and plus it wouldn't cut my feet because it would get very sharp. So I got that off Amazon and it's already making a difference. And then I put the chair back and it just looks so much better. I also wanted to replace some of the stuff that I had on my desk. So I replaced the desk mat with a new one, which kind of matches my bedding. Also got that off Amazon. It will be on my storefront for you to buy it if you're interested in. I still have the monitor. It also came with a keyboard mat so I could rest my wrist while I'm typing on my keyboard, and then it comes with a mouse pad, and I don't know what that is, but I put that to the side for now, and it already looks great. So I was just putting everything back, and I feel like this already just looks so much better, and it just stands out a lot more too. On Amazon, I found these beautiful glass purple jars, which I thought were aesthetically beautiful. So I decided to take my reusable cotton pads and put them in there so they would be kept better and not show through jars. And then I re-put my medications back in there. I actually put one of my medications in the taller one since my pink Q-tips wouldn't. And then finally, I added this really beautiful moon lamp, which changes colors with a remote. I clearly am choosing the purple one since that's what matches the theme of my room.
Day 2.
Hello. It is a new day, and I have some more things that I need to do today to make this room come to life. So if you see behind me, I have my fairy lights, which aren't going anywhere, but one thing that has been bothering me about the walls surrounding my bed and where the fairy lights are is that there's just too much white. And for me, my goal is to not paint any walls because I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to paint the walls in my apartment. I mean, I could ask, but I don't want to. So what I decided to do is to give this more color on the wall, is to take some purple sheer curtains and have them draped over the fairy lights for more pops of a color. And I think it's gonna look really beautiful with the fairy lights peeping through. This has probably been one of the biggest things of this makeover that I've been the most excited about, so I'm excited to get started and try putting them up and see how they look. I am gonna do the thumbtack method and hide the thumbtacks underneath in between the curtains so you can't see it, just so it kind of gives it a little bit of like a textured pattern over the fairy lights. And I have a little helper on the bed, if you can see. She'll probably jump off at some point while I do this. I really like how it turned out. I like how the curtains kind of have like a crisscross pattern. I mean, obviously I probably could have done a neater job, but I just think it looks so much better with just having purple curtains draped over the fairy lights and just gives more color to this wall. I'm really happy. It's so much more me. I feel like the purple works really well with the new comforter. I really love how it turned out. Now we're gonna tackle my next big project. So the next big project is to tackle my dresser. I got it from IKEA when I first moved here, and it was gray, and then I painted it white, and then I had changed out the handles with these beautiful gold ones that I got off Amazon. Now I am going to paint it black, so there's just more contrast up against my wall because I don't intend on painting that. So I am going to keep the handles the same in gold, and that's going to be a project, so I need to clear off everything from the dresser and get to work. Now that I have painter's taped the knobs, when I tried unscrewing them, they were pretty stiff and tight, so I just decided to put painter's tape over them. I know that's going to make it harder for me to paint, but it is what it is. So I am just using this Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch black latex paint in semi-gloss because that's going to be really good on this kind of furniture. So I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna start painting. So I have coat 1 done. It's super streaky, looks terrible, but I am gonna do another coat later. I need to let this dry so all the streaks dry, and then hopefully when I do a second coat, it will look a lot better. And then hopefully I can take all the tape off and see what the whole thing looks like. But until then, I think I am going to stop here because pretty much all I have left to do is to finish painting the dresser, and then I will go and add those finishing touches to wrap it up.
Day 3.
So I painted the dresser black. It's a little dirty, so I just need to kind of clean it off. And I also painted the mirror frame black and my vision board frame black. But I am going to keep my San Francisco map frame gold just because I like the offside color. I don't know why, I just do. So there is one more thing that I'm going to do before I do the finishing touches. So for the last crafty thing that I need to do is to install this really cute crescent moon shelf, which I'm gonna place pretty much right here. And I just think that's gonna look really nice because there was some white space here that was really bothering me. So adding this is gonna be really great. So I'm gonna drill this into the wall, and I apologize to my next door neighbor for all the drilling noises that they're about to hear. So I moved my cardio bike. I'm probably gonna put that in my closet and switch out my laundry basket and place it behind my mirror so there's more room. But I wanted to bring in my newest addition. It is this beautiful hanging lamp. I love these little hanging baskets with the LED bulbs, and I'm just gonna place it right here. Okay, let's turn it on. I love it. I mean, I do wish it was cooler tone, but I think in this corner, it's gonna give it a nice moody effect, which I'm really excited about. So finally we have those finishing touches. I decided to move my star globe to the left of my dresser because I felt like it was a little hidden behind my mirror. So that's where I decided to place it. It already looks better. Then I went in with these dyed purple agates, which are totally fake, for bookends to hold my books up. And then I decided to put some black pampas grass in this beautiful white and black vase that I inherited from my grandmother. It was perfect. And then I added this beautiful black sculpted piece that I got off Amazon, which looks like a really expensive artistic piece that you could buy. And then I added these awesome LED candles, which I'll show you lit. I added one on the moon shelf. I added this beautiful amethyst crystal tree on the bottom, since that's my favorite crystal. I added some more of my favorite purple crystal towers, and then I added some other touches, and then I turned on the candles for that nice moody touch. So that is the final product of everything on the dresser. I'm obsessed. And then we go to this lamp. I decided to replace this lampshade. Actually, I didn't replace it. Instead of replacing it, I dyed it purple because it was fading from that ugly pink. So I dyed it with Rit dye, and then I waited it for it to dry, and then I replaced it onto the lampstand, and it looks so much better and works really well. And then I decided I needed to take care of this desk chair. It was old, it was gross, it was dirty, it's not fuzzy anymore, so I replaced it with this nice beautiful rolling velvet one. And then also I added this little moon mobile, and so that is everything that I added for the finishing touches. So let me remind you of the befores and what the room looked like before. It was very white, a little bland, not enough color, just not my style whatsoever, and I just felt like it definitely could have used a makeover. So now it's time to show you the after. have it. I hope you have enjoyed me redoing my room. Comment down below and let me know what style bedroom would you consider this under. I don't know if it's like eclectic or if it's like whimsical. I really don't know how to describe the actual like interior design style of this bedroom, but purple and black with hints of gold is typically what I went for. So if you liked this video and how my room turned out, do make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!